All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about maybe the biggest question in marketing right now. How is AI changing the game for search? And more importantly, how do we make sure our websites don't just disappear?
I mean, this is the question that's keeping a lot of us up at night, right? You've got these incredible generative AI tools that just answer questions directly. So there's this very real fear that all the effort we've poured into SEO could just vanish. But what if that's not really the whole story?
This quote right here, this really gets to the heart of it. The skills, the strategies you've been perfecting for years, they're not going away. Not at all. They're actually the foundation for what comes next. It's not about starting over. It's about upgrading our whole approach. So, how do we actually do that? How do we make that upgrade? Well, if we want to win in this new AI world, we first have to really truly understand how the game is being played, and it all starts with figuring out how these AIs find their answers in the first place. To optimize for AI, we've got to learn how it thinks. We can't just keep tossing content out there and hoping for the best. We need to get tactical. We need to peek under the hood and see the actual mechanics at work, especially when you ask an AI a question that needs fresh, up-to-the-minute info.
And that brings us to the core technical concept behind this whole strategy. Now, it sounds a little complex, but I promise you, once you break it down, it's actually pretty straightforward.
The key process is called retrieval-augmented generation, or just RAG for short. Think of it as the AI's safety net. To keep from just making things up, what we all call hallucinations, and to give you current info, the AI doesn't just rely on its old training data. No, it actively goes out and checks with trusted sources. And what are those sources? Yep, you guessed it. Search engines like Google and Bing.
Honestly, the best way to wrap your head around RAG is to think of it like an open book exam. So you ask the AI a question. First, it goes and looks up the latest facts on Google and Bing. Then it takes those fresh facts and blends them with its own massive knowledge base to give you a really detailed and hopefully accurate answer. Now, of course, there are a couple of wrinkles to keep in mind. You've got some platforms building their own search indexes. And sure, for really simple questions, the AI might just pull from its memory. But, and this is the big takeaway here, for the vast majority of what's happening right now, your visibility in an AI answer is directly tied to how well you rank on good old Google and Bing.
So knowing that, our strategy starts to get really clear. It basically splits into two parts. First, we've got the quick wins, optimizing for how AI is using search engines today. And then we've got the long game, positioning ourselves to become a go-to source for the AI models of the future. Let's tackle part one first. This is where your current SEO expertise becomes your secret weapon. Seriously, these are the things you can start doing right now to get your content showing up in those AI-generated answers. Okay, let's break these down. First things first, double down on what already works. Your best practices for Google and Bing, that's your foundation. Next, make sure crawlers can easily access all your content. Don't hide your important info behind complicated scripts. Third, and this is a cool one, optimize for what's called query fanout. Basically, figure out the super specific questions the AI is asking search engines and target those. Fourth, start using AI tools to analyze your own copy, but focus less on keywords and more on big picture topics and entities. And finally, create what we call Authority Hub. So what is an Authority Hub? This is a perfect example. It's a single, super comprehensive page that brings together all your expertise on one topic. Think about it. A detailed Career Hub page basically screams to an AI, hey, this company is the expert on its own careers and culture. It just makes it incredibly easy for the AI to cite you as the source. All right, on to part two, the long game. Here, we're shifting our thinking. We're moving from getting cited today to becoming a fundamental source of truth for the AI of tomorrow. The ultimate goal here is to go from being cited to being absorbed. We want our content to be so good, so authoritative, that it gets baked right into the core training data of future AI models. That's how you build a real, lasting competitive advantage. So how do you even begin to do that? Well, you start by speaking the AI's language. That means using things like schema markup to translate your content into a structured format that machines can easily understand. And you should keep an eye on emerging standards like LLMs.txt, which is like a roadmap you give to AIs to help them understand your site. But look, technical tricks are just one piece of the puzzle. To really become that source of truth, you need a holistic 360-degree approach. You've got to run a whole series of audits to make sure your brand's expertise is crystal clear from every possible angle. This chart shows the 5 pillars of that big audit.
It's about looking at everything from your on-site signals and your content to how your brand is perceived and how you stack up against everyone else.
Let's just quickly run through these. Your on-site audit? That's to make sure your entire website clearly communicates what you're an expert in. Content audits let you use AI to find strategic gaps you can fill. Brand and visibility audits are so important. They show you how AI sees your brand right now. And of course, competitive analysis helps you find your competitors' weak spots and turn them into your opportunities. And crucially, this authority can't just live on your own website. You have to solidify it everywhere else too. That means keeping public profiles updated, putting out press releases, and investing in a real digital PR strategy to build those authoritative links and mentions all across the web. So let's bring this all together. The path forward isn't about choosing one or the other. It's about doing both at the same time. It's a dual focus plan.
And this is the ultimate takeaway. Your job is to dominate the search-driven AI answers of today by using all your great SEO skills, while at the very same time building that deep, undeniable authority that will make you a core part of the AIs of tomorrow. So I'll leave you with this one last thought. Right now, this very second, AI models are out there crawling and reading your content. The only question is, are you telling them the right story about your brand?